Audio check. There we go.
Good evening. Welcome to the May Board of Architectural Review meeting. We've got some housekeeping to do first. We have to wait for the town clerk to come administer the oath of office. But we can move on to the election of chairman and vice chairman. So open nominations.
I'll make a nomination to reelect David as our chairman and Beth as our vice chairman.
I'll second that.
Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes. Yeah.
I guess we need to have a vote. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, so it is.
Right.
The administration remains the same. Next thing we have to do is approve 3 sets of meetings. Part of this was due to the fact that we did not have a March meeting to review, and minutes were not. So all 3 sets of minutes were included in our packet for the meeting tonight. Are there any changes or that anyone wants to make?
I didn't have any.
I think there were a few spelling changes in there.
Yeah, and I updated Beth's comment. Create some window with the stained glass on the lazies. Yeah. So I updated that.
Okay. Do I hear a motion that the minutes?
Make a motion that we accept the January, February, and April minutes as presented.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. And we have no old business, so we move on to our first piece of new business, which is 709 South Magnolia Street.
Good evening, y'all. Not sure if you remember, and I see kind of changed a few things. We were here a few months ago for a project very similar to this. This is a whole new design. The original design had it long and skinny. Now we're kind of wider and not as deep. Reason for that was once we cleared everything, started working with the tree manager for the town. We ended up actually bringing down one of the trees that prevented us from going wide. That was the original desire of the client. The tree was in bad shape. Once we worked together with the tree manager for the town, we were able to get it down, and that opened up the opportunity for us to kind of scoot a little bit over, get away from the other oak that was kind of throwing an issue, and then we were able to change the design around. So with that being said, we're hoping that all the feedback we got from the first meeting is all incorporated in this design. If anything, it's actually gotten a little bit better because we were able to go from a single door to 2 doubles, along with some of the original architectural design and considerations were taken into effect on this. So If you guys want, we can kind of continue down through everything.
Yeah. Let's see the designs.
This is the front of the house, right side of the house, from, oh goodness, I forget the name of the street already. Joyce Lane. So proposed building is gonna be as far back as possible with the 5-foot offset on the back of the property. Will be more or less, like I said, pushed further left into the property. So if anything, I know concern was from Joyce Lane before. There's a 6-foot fence. As you can see, it's right on the property line. From Joyce Lane, because of the grade difference, you'll never actually see the right lower half. You'll basically see right where the freeze board is and then above. So we made sure to put nice windows, matching windows that would go aside, and then around the front, same thing. We wanted to go taller with those windows to match, but due to the bathroom and some of the interior design, we just kept consistent height across the front of that design. That's where the property was gonna, or the building was gonna go, was in the back there. That tree to the left of the picture was the one that was taken down recently, so we were able to shift everything away from the oak that's in the center of that picture, bring it this way to the left, to avoid as much as we can. Like I said, the freeze board, up halfway to break up the architectural design of just straight siding. We were able to reincorporate the shed roof without having any issues. We were able to support that properly, to get that in there. The doors, I believe there's a rendering further down in the slideshow for those garage doors, carriage style garage doors. I think last time there was asked for some ornamentals, so we'll have that incorporated as well. I think that's in the rendering, probably at the very bottom. I think that was the last one I sent you, so it's probably. So that'll be what we plan to incorporate. That's from the garage company, so we'll be able to order that directly. So that will be the exact rendering of what will be ordered. I know the big one was window trim. That's exactly how we plan to incorporate, is 1x4 window trim with a sill. I think that's shown lower in the picture. The siding, that's tan siding to match the mortar of the brick. We'll actually be doing everything white, but it'll be that beaded siding that'll match, incorporated in the back. Yep. With the Aspen white from the siding company.
What's the siding material going to be?
It was vinyl, as we originally quoted, vinyl siding to match that vinyl siding that was on the house.
There's there's very little vinyl siding on the house, and I'm not comfortable with building a large structure like that with vinyl siding.
That's what we had quoted the first time, and it passed through.
Guess, was any consideration given to below the freeze board doing like a vertical siding, vinyl or not, but something to break up the 2-story mass?
We
even though
could do that. If I were to recommend it, and if that's something you're wanting to break up, based on the visuals from Joyce Lane with the fence, you're only going to see above the freeze board.
Right.
So if we were to do it, if I don't know if you guys want us to break up the front versus the sides or something like that, just because of the lower half not being seen from Joyce Lane, or really the front, we would consider whatever you guys want to do. But just to make sure that we're clear that only the top half of the building would be seen. So,
Right,
if we
I
want to break
agree.
up the front versus the sides, we could do that. We're open to, whatever really gets this.
it was just a thought considering, I mean, obviously you won't see it from first level from the road, but it's just a kind of a mass. And then
Yeah.
Can we skip down to the last slide so we can see the actual rendering of the whole building?
Believe it. Yeah, it's up at the top.
Or is it at the top?
I think the first page has probably of the plans themselves probably has the best renderings overall.
Yeah.
But we have not been approving vinyl, new vinyl siding. Unless it was a small addition to an existing building with vinyl siding, and this is a pretty large building that's independent of the other building, and I would be very reluctant to approve vinyl siding for it.
I think it was just September, October of last year is what was the previous design was approved with this vinyl siding being spec'd.
Did we actually approve the design?
I think Remy was still here. I know it was.
All the minutes that was at that meeting. Don't wanna
This,
continue to discuss
this is a new design too.
all full minutes. Second, but I wanna continue to discuss the project.
Okay.
Aside from vinyl siding, was there any other questions, comments that we can address?
I think most of our concerns were addressed.
Okay.
The new drawings.
Conditions of approval didn't address vinyl, so.
The certificate of appropriateness from the BAR on September 2nd.
What would be a option?
Hardy Plank.
Already blank.
What would Hardy Plank do to the construction cost?
Probably siding wise would probably go up at least 20 to 25%. Material isn't the same. It's the painting that causes that to go up. Because we'd be just throwing up already white vinyl siding at the same cost of what Hardy material is. It's the painting that causes that to go up.
Doesn't look like it's addressed in the minutes. There was no discussion of it, but it does look like on the elevation sheet, submitted, it does state that the exterior material is 5-inch white vinyl siding. I will say that the design was significantly different, but it does state vinyl siding. I will say that because it is a separate, different project, you know. And that is a bit of a moot point, but.
Yeah, like I said, it was before it was long and deep. It's the same dimensions. We just literally just rotated it 90 degrees just to give them that extra backyard space to spread out since the tree was removed.
I would say that it doesn't appear that everyone maybe I don't want to speak for y'all, but, and a lot of the board members who are on the board now were not
Mm.
there.
I don't remember that being addressed. It was a long
It's not
time.
in minutes.
I don't remember it being addressed. I remember that band board being.
That was a big thing. We, like I said, we made sure to incorporate it on these designs to make sure we followed up with. Literally, we just took it, rotated it, changed floor plan around because of the rotation. But aside from that, we kept everything to more or less what was exactly approved as close as possible. Not yet because the tree thing became an issue. It was a back and forth of all that. And then after that, it was, hey, we want to change the design. So we never actually got through with the building permit.
You know how to drive this thing better than I do.
A single story at that time? Or-
Basically.
Okay.
So what are the options? The vinyl, then we do hardy plank, and
Yeah.
what are the other options really?
So I'll take.
Wood, but
Wood or already plank, yeah.
I wouldn't have worried about it as
So
much.
can we rescind that?
Get-
Can we rescind the vinyl siding approval?
well, it's a different project.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
Larger, I like this design a lot better, but it is a lot of vinyl. There's not a ton of vinyl on the house. It's taller than the house, which makes it more prominent, I think. I don't know.
I would say that it's much more prominent from the street in a two-story building. I don't even know you would have seen the vinyl originally.
Any other comments?
Well, I agree with David about the vinyl siding.
Yeah, I do too.
You don't have a sample of this vinyl siding with you, do you?
I don't, we had sent it in, it's in one of our big boxes of, demo pieces of the vinyl, but it wouldn't be the 5-inch vinyl, based on feedback I had originally when we submitted. This is more of a 7-inch vinyl. So it would be, it look closer to hardy. It would just have that bead to match, the vinyl that was on the house.
Do I have a motion? Are we finished with our discussion of this?
Yeah, the only thing that I have a question is the siding as well. It is a large structure to be, and we don't really approve any vinyl siding
Okay.
in the historic district.
With-
any longer.
And just to be clear, I know it is taller. It's a 2-story. I actually went at the original meeting, to make sure we kind of showed what was going to be there. I pulled grade from like where the fence would be and then to where the front corner of it would be. And it dropped about 2.5 feet. So like I said, with the fence and then everything else, the fence, like eye level standing on Joyce Lane with the drop on Joyce Lane, really you're seeing from the freeze board up. So it's not like it would be a fully prominent thing. We're open to doing a board and batten vinyl to keep prices as close as possible to what we originally quoted. I did try to jump into our group text to see if they'd be okay with the upcharge before the meeting ended, but they're both traveling for work right now, so trying to kind of see where we're at with it. So like I said, with that vinyl being more of the 7-inch, it wouldn't be as prominent as the cookie cutter 4-inch, 5-inch lap siding. There, it would be a bigger space between the two. So trying to make it as best as possible. Are we able to scroll up on that specific picture to see the full piece? Is that not showing? All right, let me see. Might still have this in my phone here. Just do this. I don't know if you guys want to take this and pass it down. Let's see if I can get this to come up.
So okay, in our guidelines, is it, vinyl siding is not even a product used.
Right.
Yeah, not recommended. And you're correct, typically for smaller accessory structures. Or if in the past, if it has been the main material on primary residence. But typically the standard.
As an addition.
As an addition, and again, the smaller accessory structures, the standard is usually smooth. James Hardy.
Would, and I want to make sure everybody gets in and out of here. Would it be best if we put a condition of approval that the Hardy Board change? And then if not, we come back to follow up? Would that be a possibility we can confirm on the back end, just to kind of keep things moving for everybody? And if we can agree on a price, and we'll basically just charge that cost just to make sure the project is approved to do Hardy.
Well, I have no problems with the remainder of the project other than the siding.
Same, yeah. I like it. I like the changes. Aside from the siding, I'd agree.
Contact, I got a thumbs up from Jeff, who's traveling about possibly doing Hardy. So if I know last time we did do a conditions of approval based on a few things being changed to the plans, is that something we can do, just a condition of approval based on Hardy Plank? And we'll consider, we'll do white since that white was spec'd out. We'll consider white as well, and then we'll change the plans to Hardy and make sure Hardy's all done, and we'll do that.
Someone want to make the appropriate.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I would make a motion to approve it as it's submitted with the condition of changing to one of the approved materials of Hardy Plank.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, Don? Approve?
Aye.
Kim?
Aye.
Dane? And I also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate your help.
We have the agenda back up.
I'm the contractor representing the homeowner, so I'm just here for any questions you got.
Okay. Yeah.
This you're looking at, putting in there's an existing open porch right now. And you're enclosing half, portion of it to create a mudroom. Unfortunately, some of this work was already started. So we're doing kind of after the fact, approval on this. Once the homeowner realized that permits were needed, she shut things down. Just trying to do
And I'm the contractor stuck in the middle trying to make it all. Just to let you know, it wasn't me. I'm trying to fix this thing.
Yeah,
Most of the work has been done. All the siding that's gonna go back on is everything that's on the existing house. The replacement windows that they've just had, I think last year, all the windows that are going in the new structure are gonna be the same. They match. Really, there's nothing structural on it, so it's not really that big of a deal. They had closed probably, I wouldn't even say maybe a third of it, less than 100 square feet, basically. Didn't interfere with anything on the interior of the house. So like I said, we're just here to try to make it right for them.
Mark, what you see is enclosed right now is about what you're looking for.
Correct. Correct.
and there's an entrance to that space too,
Yeah.
or side stairs. Yeah,
Right here.
okay, yeah.
Yep.
It's understandable, looks like a good project.
And you're going with wood siding? Is that what I heard?
Correct.
Yeah.
Everything to match what's on the existing house.
Basically, they've got existing wood board. Colors would be the same, windows would be the same. The only difference that I was told by the homeowner is that they weren't gonna put the shutters on.
Good.
I don't know about that, but
But that's the only.
well, if you look at it, when you take that piece of plywood down and see where the actual window is gonna go in, if you were to put shutters on there, it's gonna crowd the door. It's gonna look like
Right.
crap, so.
Simulated divided light windows. Simulated divided light windows.
It's the exact same window that was put in the house last year, about 6 months ago, by Powell Roofing.
Go back to the picture of the window. That's how all the windows on the house are without a sill. Does that have a sill?
Looks to me like they're just picture framed.
Is that how they are in the rest of the house?
Yes,
Okay.
that is one of them from the rest of the house. The windows haven't been installed in the new section yet. I've stopped everything.
Any other comments?
No, well, the picture of the door, the purpose of that was they're going to do the same frame around the back door.
No, basically, they're using the same type of door.
Okay.
And you can see it in. So,
Yeah, it's already installed, actually.
yep. Right
Okay.
there.
Mhm.
Color, I think, is gonna be the same, but, correct. But, you just got brick molding around it.
Correct.
Make a motion that we approve as presented.
A second?
I'll second that.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good with it. Yeah.
And I also. So. Go for it.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Been a lot of fun. Been 49 years since I built my first project. First time I had to come in front of the board. Thank you very much.
We'll see you.
You're welcome.
Next project. This is actually, is not 321, as I was told earlier. This is what, 215
West
Carolina. Was Carolina Ave. And the owner, the applicant would like to move the front door. It's skewed at this point, it's off center. And what they're doing essentially is trading places with existing window so that you have a more symmetrical front entrance. Or front of the house, essentially. There's also going to be some lighting upgrades, changes, as well as some changes to the garage. We're going to replace the garage doors and also repair some of the siding that is currently rotted on the side.
That sounds about right. If you could scroll down to our first kind of, it has like the history page. Yeah, sorry, we included all of our general notes.
Yeah, should probably eliminate those.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, so thank you for tonight. I'm here representing the Marians, the homeowners, and Metters Inc., the architect on the project. And as Jim stated, we're just asking to reestablish the door to be centered in the facade, and then relocate the window opposite side. So just a more traditional aesthetic, and also what was presented back in 1994 and approved, but for some reason never proceeded with. And one of the images on here shows that. It should be on that same page. If you zoom out a little bit, you can. Oh, let me skip ahead a little. There we go. Yeah, so that was the what was presented in 1994, and so what we're hoping to reestablish or actually proceed with. And the image below is what the property originally was. There's a bunch of Uptown Grocery, which historically had the storefront windows flanking on either side of a centered door. So we're just trying to go back to the historically accurate centered facade that was. And then the neighboring properties we have photos of as well that show more traditional symmetrical facades with fenestration layouts. And then here, this is the garage door style that we're hoping to replace on the non-historic garage building. And these are just renderings of what those doors look like in action, in an actual project. And then we're all materials at the front facade we are suggesting are either repaired or replaced in kind. No color changes, just rot repair. There's a lot of rot along the windows and the doors, so we would just replace that or repair it. Let's see. Yes, okay, so this is our exterior elevation, the garage connecting. So the demo and then proposed plans or elevations below.
So the door y'all will preserve the door?
Yes, we're going to keep the original door, transom, and window. We're going to salvage everything there and just relocate it. We're going to install new flashing and waterproofing appropriately. But otherwise, it'll be the same units will be installed.
Was it originally centered?
Not that we can find. We haven't been able to find any.
Interesting.
I know. Yeah, if it ever actually was done that way.
I think on the old picture
Uh-huh.
you showed, it was a much wider door and it was centered.
Yeah.
May have been two doors,
Mhm.
and then there were just two windows on each
Mhm.
side.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
being a store, it had the double doors.
Yeah, when it was still
Uh,
a store.
So I think, and it originally didn't have the windows in the
Mhm. Yeah, it was much more
gable.
simple design then.
One question I had
Mhm.
was there's large variety of grid patterns. And I would think it would be helpful to come up with a common grid pattern. The age of this building would have gone along with it being a 2/2 or 2/1. Not necessarily for the shop windows.
Can we scroll back to the image of the existing, if that's possible? Sorry. I just want to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. It should be, yeah, there.
So that,
Yeah, so
So-
the,
So you,
which windows are you referring to?
okay,
Because we're only planning to touch the windows on that
Right.
facade. And
so
really,
you've got windows on the front here. The shop windows are appropriately 1/1s.
Mhm.
And then on the extension to the right, you've got 2/1s and
Right.
1/1s. And on one of the side elevations, you've got 6/6. And are these the only windows you're planning to change?
as of right now, yes, we have an assessment where we're looking at like other rot repair that needs to be done, minor modifications and some broken glass, but we're not swapping out any other windows on the project. It's just, we're just relocating those two on the front. And of course, if we go through the
Would
project
you
and there are some that. need to
Thumbnail
be-
on your future plans
Yeah.
to try and come up with a common grid pattern
Yes, that would make my heart happy.
that that's appropriate for the age of the building.
So for the proposed, swap with the door and the window, the lighting that you're gonna have, I see right now you have one above the door.
Yes.
And two on the side, one on either side of the door.
Yeah, currently there's one above that is wall mounted and then two flanking. And what we're proposing to replace is actually just one centered, that's a hanging lantern above the door. And that also helps with the trim details around the side of the door and sort of less penetration for water. That's what we're trying to.
That's such a visible and.
Yeah.
Home right there.
Mhm.
on Caroline. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I live a couple houses down from here and I never noticed it until I got this. And now I pass this like 5-6 times a day. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the medium lantern right here, the visual comfort,
Mhm.
where is that going?
So that is going on the front porch on either side of the front entry. Yeah, it's actually on the columns. There's currently lanterns there, so we just be swapping out to a more traditional style that matches. And actually, this is showing electric, but we're hoping to go with gas is the plan.
Were you proposing to rework the brick on the front, on the walkway or something like that? Did I
Yeah,
get
so we're keeping the brick the same, but part of reworking the door means reworking the steps to make sure it's still part of egress. So we reach out to SCDOT because technically this is within the right of way as historic property. It is right on the property line. And they gave us kind of a pathway for how we can make that happen, but it's in the very early discussions. I just got email confirmation from them today. So, but instead of being the brick pathway would remain. And then in these drawings, we are showing that the steps going back would be brick. We're proposing brick. But after that conversation with their staff and with SCDOT, we're thinking of something more that has less infrastructure to it, maybe like a bluestone or a brownstone slab and then wood, which is also more traditionally appropriate for the home, which is what's there right now. Right now is a wood, it's like 2 steps of wood and then a concrete slab that fakes and looks like it's brownstone, but it's not. And I believe you mentioned gutters on the garage that we're going to be adding. We're showing K-style, but are also open to doing half round. It's they're missing on this elevation, but in the west elevation, you can see the garage. I think it's, oh, one more. Yeah, right there. Maybe
Yeah,
on the-
half rounds would be preferable.
Yeah. And then this is the elevation of the garage where we would replace the existing rotted siding with, we've put in new weather barrier flashing and artisan hardy plank. Because it just, a lot of water intrusion happens on that elevation.
Can we go back to the historic photo? Store?
One more. Hmm.
Wasn't it earlier than that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
there.
yeah, there.
No. Yeah,
It's right there.
there you go.
The little tiny one, sorry.
Thanks.
Okay.
You
So I feel
still working on your learner's permit?
This one has been in place at some point.
I think it's getting back to the spirit of the store. Obviously, it's been modified quite a bit since then, but the symmetry.
Yeah, I mean, I like it, with the exception of the half round gutters. I mean, yeah, I would say approve it.
Except for what?
I'm sorry,
You said you like it except for what?
the gutters,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the half round, I think we all agree is the preference there. More period appropriate.
Want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve it. With the caveat, it would go with the half round gutters.
Have a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Beth looks like she's still studying.
No, I love what you're doing.
Oh, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're excited for the project.
I do
Vote
too.
in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And I also. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. It's gonna be great. Yeah, it's huge. Way better.
Creation of symmetry is fine. Okay. With the two of them, one window.
And our final is 321 South Laurel Street.
Again, this is an after the fact approval here. Installed some screening on their front porch. As well as canopy over. Canopy.
It's over the back door and I actually have photos for all of you. If it would be helpful, because I know the pictures.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's at the corner of South Mall.
Yes, that's correct.
You have a busy corner there, so that probably is nice to have that
Yes, ma'am.
privacy.
It certainly is because as you can see, the sidewalk in Central Avenue directly abuts my home. So when people are stopped at that stoplight, they're literally looking right at you. Not only does it help for the privacy aspect, the sun aspect as well is obviously very harsh out there. And it does actually help a little bit with the noise aspect as well, because it being such a busy street, it's extremely noisy and just heavy traffic always. I do not have it stained yet because it's too new to accept stain. But they do have the samples of it to match the shutters that I have for the home as well. Yes.
Have these been approved as well? Have your shutters already been approved?
No, ma'am. They are cedar shutters that have been up for quite some time.
There, yeah.
What's the date on the house?
The file, does this one even have a file?
I don't think so. It was a
Okay, yeah, yeah, when they did the, when SHPA did the survey, they, I believe assigned this a non-contributory. Yeah.
Yep.
One would be, outstanding incident to the historic district. Obviously,
the only one that wasn't.
and those usually they don't, honestly, most of those are only captured by one of the surveys, the one done in 96 versus the one done in 79. So I believe it definitely was there by 96. Probably not.
Excuse me, I fully understand your need for wanting something there. I'm not sure you've come up with the right answer. There are other ways of doing this which are more traditional. One would be putting shutter panels up, and we did that on one side of our porch about 2 years ago. It was probably the best thing we've ever done. It has cut down on dust that blows from our neighbor's yard when they mow it. And it's allowed us to use the porch much more of the year comfortably. And I would think something along that line would be much more appropriate. You had some nice curtains up there at one time too.
Yes, sir. I actually have some up now just for decorative. The curtains just didn't really help with, for one, you couldn't get the airflow that I can get now
That was,
through them, and just the permanence of having that privacy. We were constantly fighting with having to string them to posts that would constantly come off. And so it wasn't a real viable long-term
Yep.
method for us.
been there, done that.
Yes, sir.
So I'm curious, how did this get in front of us as far as, like, did somebody report something with? Okay, was it town? somebody or it was a neighbor or can we, without, I mean, I know you can't get specific, but it was a town person or a town staff?
Yeah.
It was a staff, okay. It was not staff. Okay, very good.
And say it wasn't a neighbor either, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think I agree with David to the extent that I don't know what that design style would be referred to, if it would be modern, mid-century modern, contemporary, sort of what that styling would be. It just doesn't seem to match the house. I think that's where the appropriateness aspect comes in. I know louvered could, would allow airflow, wouldn't necessarily have to be, shutters, a group of shutters or anything, but it could just, if the thing was louvered, again, it would almost kind of match the siding to some extent because it would, again, overlap a little bit. Again, yes, I totally appreciate the privacy aspect, the sun aspect, all of that. You know, I definitely, some of the other examples, lattice, yeah, not so much.
Well, and that's.
But,
Pictures of the lattice around, and to me, I wanted something durable because we do get, high winds through that area as well. Something that is not going to be coming off the home. I wanted it durable, and I feel, just in my opinion, that once it is stained, that it will be a lot more. My intent was for it to blend into the home, and that once it's stained, it will become more blending into the home and not sticking out like a sore thumb as it is right now, not being stained.
well, and I do appreciate you bringing in the picture of the door because in the notes it said it was over a window and I could not figure out why.
Oh, I heard that from
But-
someone else.
But yeah, so that's great. And so the stoop, I'm assuming, is going to be painted the same as the house.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It will be. And the wood on the back, well, we had a lot of wood rot back in that area, just due to the fact that, obviously the rains sometimes go sideways. We've even had rain come in our back door before during real heavy, like hurricane sort of tropical storm rains. So just to add a little more protection to that area and being able to walk out or let dogs outside to be able to go out and not be drenched with rain coming right in that back room.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
And I have it where it mimics the wood on the home as well.
It would be painted the same as the wood on the house.
Yes, sir. I can certainly do that. That or stain it, whichever.
I think it would look much better being painted the same as the house. Anyone have other views about that
No, I think
as
I
opposed?
like the paint too.
Yeah, I would agree on
Yeah.
that.
On the front porch, back to the front porch, you have the wood on one side and on the other as well. Is there a need for it on the other side? Is there also traffic
Well,
and,
there's traffic coming on the other side. of the
Okay.
house As well.
yeah,
And just in my viewpoint, it would look odd having one
Yeah,
on and not the
got it.
other. So I
Mhm.
wanted it to be cohesive.
Mhm.
I try to really keep in mind, the integrity of the home and, realize that I'm someone just passing through, that I want to make it better for the next person
Mhm.
coming into the home that, it's been there since 1840 and I just want to improve it so that it continues to withstand the elements.
Are the handrails still there? on
Yes, sir, there are.
Railings?
The handrails were actually getting rotted as well. They're due to being in the constant exposure of the rain and the sun.
Right.
Can we go back to the picture of the front of the house with where we can see the new addition? Have you thought about maybe doing some tall landscaping?
I could do so if need be. I mean, to hide the screening more, or I'm not sure what you're,
I was saying in place of,
um,
but
just that is such a very busy area. There's no real reprieve, even at night. It's busy constantly.
Mm.
And, I absolutely love living in the historic district, and that's kind of just one of the trade-offs that I have to deal with is the busy traffic. So I'm just trying to make it more useful for
yeah,
myself and my family, that we can use it like a whole nother living area and not have someone looking directly at us while they're waiting at the, I mean, you can smell smoke if they're smoking. You can hear their music that they're playing if they're talking to someone on their car phone. It just helps buffer that a little bit more. And I was more concerned with the stability of that, with strong winds coming up, that it would be a stable part of the home.
Is the railing the same color as the shutters?
I'm sorry, sir.
Is the railing the same color as the shutters? It's hard to tell from the picture.
Black.
Yes, sir, it is. It is.
so are the shutters black or?
Charles.
The railing is painted and the shutters are stained to show the wood grain. It just,
Mm.
they're very beautiful on there, and I wanted the wood grain to be exposed. And then the handrails, all of them are painted black.
I think when you did that, you made a nice addition to the house, painting the railings black.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
I would urge you to look at a different way of handling what you need. And if you would like to come by my house and see what we did with shutter panel, you're welcome to do so. I think that would be a far more appropriate way of dealing with this.
Yeah, I think my concern is we've lost the sense of a porch from those views
Yeah.
and I don't know that this is the best answer, but even putting it behind the railing starts to just keep the sense of a porch. Not that this is necessarily the right aesthetic, but
But almost gives the impression of creating an enclosed
Mhm.
room on the front porch, which is not what porches are for.
If it weren't for me being on such a busy road, I completely concur with what you're saying. Just because it limits our view as well of like the beautiful church next door. But the privacy aspect was most importantly forefront for us.
I think you could get the same level of privacy with a shutter situation too. That's my view.
I'll just pipe in here. I'm fine with the stoop on the side of the house. It's painted to match,
Hmm.
the existing colors. I know what you're talking about with the privacy and being on such a busy. That's what you're dealing with. But I don't think that what you have done is appropriate to the style of the historic district within our district. And I would look at the shutters as a different option for you, or look at some other type of form of a remedy that I didn't think about losing the railing, but you're right, you're absolutely right on that. You lose that, and I just don't think that this is the right answer. This for your porch. Think you can have both things, but I don't think this is right answer. Their privacy and with ventilation and everything else, but I think there's a better answer out there.
Yeah, you have such a pretty house, you know.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel very blessed.
Yeah.
Tell you love it.
I wonder if something like roll up, something shade or. I don't know,
That
but
gets back to the durability issue.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and
You were talking about.
aesthetically, it's not pleasing to the eye either, but the durability is more what I was concerned of. Is there, I mean, you could be more than welcome to come and see it for yourself if you'd like. And, you know, I do feel like it will blend far better once it is stained or painted or however you would like it to be. Is just my thought. I would like you to
Yeah.
consider.
I think we just have to consider the appropriateness of it and setting a precedent as well. So could she come back, say next month? And I mean, leave it like it is and then maybe consider something else?
Could we
Or
approve?
or do we need to?
Could we approve? this
So that's
motion?
probably a pretty tall order considering the deadline is Friday for next month. That'd be a lot to ask. Well, just like the stoop, you know, you got the siding, I mean, it virtually matches. Like I said, I think what you're doing is fine and you could accomplish the same thing by just having them, you know, the siding come off the same, just a space between, like I said, a louvered type thing that would allow the airflow and it would look virtually just like the siding. That would be an option. Like I said, the shutters are an option. There's bound to be quite a few, but that's what I said. I don't know what that style would be with modern, mid-century modern, like I said, contemporary. I don't know what that is, but it doesn't have that historic look. And I think that's ultimately that's what we're here for, the
Mhm.
appropriateness of that. Now, whether or not it's set inside the rail or outside the rail, you know, or if it's above the rail or, I mean, what's the thought process there? Are you,
I just think we've lost, not seeing the railing is contributing to that sort of enclosure appearance.
so are we suggesting it goes all the way down? It's fine to go all the way down just as long as the railing is in front, or do we want it to stop at the railing? I mean, what are we, because we need to give her some guidance.
The railings as well.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I still have the railings as well.
Yeah, they're saying they
Mhm.
want to be able to see it from the outside. It's just whether or
Mhm.
not your
If
little,
you lose it, that's a porch.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a
Mhm.
porch
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, and the railing's beautiful, so.
so is the screen coming behind the railing or to the top of the railing? What guidance are we giving her?
Well,
Behind the railing's probably
is
fine
it?
to meet the needs, their needs as well.
What is it?
There-
Behind the railing, so you have the privacy you're looking for.
with a shutter panel type thing that can be fixed vertically all the way from top to bottom
Okay,
and behind
behind,
the
okay.
rail, or be canted out and attached to the railing.
You've
I've
done this
seen
at
that a
your
lot.
house?
Almost like a
Yeah, the
hurricane.
one in
Yeah.
our house is
Yeah.
canted out and,
Yeah, that's,
but it's Perkin rated. Rest of the house may blow away.
that won't.
What other examples do we have in the district that look?
Of the hurricane look or the,
Picture of it.
I'm not aware. I don't.
Something like,
Thought I might.
May I ask, like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
are the homes with the
Yeah, look at
lattice
that.
that really
Yeah.
is less desirable look? How are those not? How are those approved, I guess?
No.
Because they're,
I'm
Or never through install. You know, unfortunately, unless we're in the bigger, I wouldn't
You
say
see
that
those
about
pictures?
Timrod Library. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Something like,
The lattice is also an historical element.
Yeah,
Yeah,
typically
so that
screening
would
like
be-
the one that's in front, you know, if it's in the back of the house, it's essentially akin to a fence. You know, especially if it's not visible from the right of way.
something like that, are you talking about?
so can I ask
Wanna
if
show
it
it
would
to
be possible to?
Here's a picture.
Here's a picture.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that
just
one-
hit a button.
That was his.
would it be possible then to put lattice over that so that that's masking? Masking the structure
Over the
that's,
historic, the horizontal boards?
yes. Would it be possible, like on the outside frames of it, to install the lattice since that could be approved?
Let's, again, a lot of like this, I'm sure never got a permit or approval. The Timrod, I mean, that's probably been there longer than I've been alive, I'm not sure, but, and then as far as like the other example with the black screening, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the back. Oh. But
We've
again,
got-
this element isn't, that element isn't, I'm pretty sure isn't attached to the house.
I don't think it is. You're correct on that.
There, here's a picture.
Here's a picture of something you might could consider,
Okay.
what David's saying, he has.
something like that.
My concern about that would be the durability of that with
It's-
winds.
It's hurricane proof and
Comes out.
And is that wood as well?
it's ox,
Like hardy plank,
no,
masonry.
oxy or some kind of modern material that doesn't rot and is they're beginning to make a fair number of historic
That would really be pretty.
shutters out of, since shutters are not known to last forever.
This is about.
Yeah.
I was talking.
But-
Yeah, and then the railing could still be visible.
Still there.
Yeah, I think what you were talking about, Tim, was the slanted boards like,
louver.
well, I don't.
Yeah.
Used to be Milton Thomas's house across from Azalea Park. His garage was built. Or carport was built out back, kind of across the street from the parking lot of Azalea Park. But that gives you screening and is probably less expensive than, shutter panels, but that's another option. The building I'm talking about is the carport on, what's that, Fifth Street? That goes in front of the Squirrel Inn,
I think
That-
so.
Fifth Street. Okay. It's right on the corner of Main Street and Fifth Street. And if you turn right off of Main Street there, it'll be immediately on your left. There's a driveway that goes up into their yard. And there's a carport there that's got slanted 1x8 boards like that, like a giant shutter. And that would also give you some of the elements of privacy and security that you're looking for, but I'm not even sure that that would be appropriate for front porch. But
Well, I mean, the alternatives are lattice. I mean, that's, and yeah. So, I mean, there has to be a solution.
Yeah.
So,
and lattice, if it's made out of wood,
yeah,
is
yeah.
gonna
No, I
not
don't,
last.
yeah, I guess not a viable option, really.
Yep.
That doesn't give you the aesthetic you want. It doesn't give you the privacy you want. It doesn't give you the protection from the wind and other elements that you want. So, yeah.
That's why I'm wondering, would it be possible to add lattice to the outside?
Well, I think based on what they're saying, there's two different things you're combating. One is it needs to move back so the railing is exposed. So you got that to deal with already. And then if you just put lattice over the top, I don't know.
It would look
aesthetically-
like you put lattice over the.
Yeah, it looked like you'd put lattice over the top of it.
Don't think it would be very appealing at all.
Yeah.
But-
And understand there's nobody up here that's taking this lightly. The fact that if you have to tear this thing down and the expense you've already had to go through putting it up, and it's like, nobody's liking this.
Thank you, because I'm definitely not like.
Yeah, I mean, no, we all appreciate it. We all are like, but yeah.
But in the end, you'll have something really beautiful for the house that you have. So,
You've been working so hard on making the place beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Um,
And I really have, and I
Mhm.
put a lot of money into it. And like I said, I'm just trying to make it better for the next people that are the lucky home there.
yeah.
It's just, one of the things that's, like I said, I believe is that you have just a long or a long wall. It's not broken up by any vertical members at all. And part of the shutter idea, is you have some vertical in there as well as the horizontal. That may be something to look at, is having something to break up that in the middle, so that it doesn't look like it's just one big flat plane.
If we could find any sort of remedy that I could add to that structure that would be appropriate, I would certainly do so. I'm hoping to, well, for one, I don't want to cause any issue, with a historical
Yep.
home. You take down things and you find more problems, with that. And I mean, if I could add anything to that existing to make it more look historically correct, I would certainly do so.
Unfortunately, the reason that you need to and want to have some kind of protection there is also the reason why we think it needs to be treated much more appropriately, because that is one of the major corners in the historic district. If this were down some lane somewhere on the periphery of the district, that might be different, but then you probably wouldn't need it. But
Correct.
the need also requires being treated aesthetically appropriate.
If I were one house over, I wouldn't need it. But it is what it is right now, so.
Can we separate the issue and deal with the porch? And I think we all have agreed that we have no problems with that.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Correct.
All right.
If y'all please clarify in your motion.
That's what I'm getting.
The matching the house
The paint.
specifically,
That's what I was getting ready to ask somebody to make a motion. So would someone make a motion to approve the porch.
So when she paints it, would the posts be white or, and then the rest of it be
Yeah.
match the house?
So for the back addition, you would like the post white and then the top portion to match the
Yeah.
existing paint on the wall.
Trim board around.
White is
Yeah,
all,
the-
okay.
Right.
Yeah, the posts and the fascia and then the siding
Yeah.
would be to match the color.
And that's current look of the house.
Right.
Rest of
Does someone wish to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. I'd make a motion to approve the porch, match all the trim work, fascia and post, to the trim on the house, and everything else match the house.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Don?
Aye.
Fine.
All right, and I also. So. Do we want? I don't think. That we're in a position where we want to approve what's been done. But. Ask her to come back with some solutions. I think there's 100% agreement that it's appropriate you do something. But this isn't it. And so if you,
So the guidance would be a design that exposes the railing on the outside, on both sides, and then is more design appropriate for the age of the house.
so I think we can move to accept the concept, but not the details.
Correct.
The request is to keep it as. Y'all need to make. Can't really prefer that,
Okay.
but I guess you
Um,
could, and make a decision later, but ultimately if the.
So if we deny this, she doesn't have to immediately tear this thing down or anything, does she? And is there a timeline involved in that?
I would say typically we try and give 30 to 90 days. But obviously this, your home, it's not a business or.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be 30 days. Yeah, I mean, 90 days. Yeah.
Place, waiting until. Have an idea of what we're.
Yeah.
Staff has no issue.
Okay. Okay, Tim, do you want to make a motion here on the?
Sure. Yeah, I'll make the motion to deny based on as is. And then give her the opportunity to come back with a new solution.
Have a second?
Second.
Okay. Those in favor?
And I would suggest going on, I don't know if you're on any design websites or like Pinterest or anything like that.
Actually, I got that. on Pinterest.
Okay. Go back and look through, things like that, just different design rules and, be really specific on what you're trying to do. Screening noise in historic areas, that type of
I
thing.
think the shutters would
And
look
it will bring
awesome.
up some
They
good
would look
options.
awesome.
They do look awesome.
They would look, I think those shutters would look awesome on that house.
I do too.
Dark.
So just so I'm clear, if the railings are put back up. and-
Oh, so the railings were taken down,
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the railings were
I-
taken down.
I do.
but you have them. Yeah,
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what.
yeah, that's what I thought.
So if the railings were put back up and I had a louvered shutter, then that potentially would be approved.
most likely.
That would certainly be more appropriate.
with
Mhm.
the historic area.
So that the shutter would just come down to the railing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Come
Right.
down to it or pitch off from it.
No, it can go below. That's what
Lower.
we're saying, as long as it's exposed, they're exposed. It could come behind it.
Mhm.
Is that what?
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud to
Yeah.
minimize this, taking this down. If we were to apply shutters that kicked out minimally, will it obscure this enough? And then maybe you treat the inside with something that takes away from this look. I'm just trying to think of ways to not. It's hard to tell without actually doing something that you'd have to possibly.
Well, I think one of the concerns I have about this design, besides being aesthetically inappropriate, is I don't think we want to go to a point where we start letting people enclose their porch on two sides and just end up leaving one side open,
No, I think it would definitely set. it
which I
back better.
think this
Right.
design comes close to doing.
Right.
So
These
you want to
good
come by
things.
and see my shutter,
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, sir.
224 Sumter.
224 Sumter. So you're just down the street.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so just, I know you've kind of already told me, but there's no way we could do a shutter outside of that and have it tilted like, so that's completely covered.
Keeping what you just put up.
Yes, ma'am. And that would actually help with the noise and the sun even more and protection on the porch.
Again, that gets back to my concern about
That's an enclosure.
overly enclosing porches.
You know, because we're not going to make you remove it immediately. If you did want to provide the board with that as an option, when you come back, if the board is okay with that, you will need to provide it in addition to having an option where it's completely removed. But, I think that is fair. Yeah, I don't, you probably need a drawing to demonstrate that. and
Or
then
like
I
a
could-
picture of like what I'm wanting or.
No, I mean, I think that would take a drawing, you know, because the idea may make sense, but in application, you may have to still remove it to attach those shutters. There's, you know, we can talk through that on a staff level, but, I think if, you know, I mean, they did vote to deny, so I would say if we want to pursue layering something over that, provide that as an option. But
Because you'd still see that, sorry, from the inside coming
Yep.
at different angles, you know, that would still be visible.
And just adding the shutters wouldn't necessarily address the rail, the missing rail. Plantings. We have no purview over plantings. Big old cypress trees. Arbor vitae.
We feel for you, but we want you to do it right.
Okay, so am I to come to the next meeting with?
Well, there,
we'll send you the certificate of approval for food covering.
Okay,
And then we will send you confirmation that the request to keep as is was denied. To come back before the board, you would need to, provide, you know, your proposed design. And you would need to submit that. That would be a separate application. And then it would be the same process. You would come back before the board with your proposed design. Staff would provide a report and then the board.
what's the deadline for the next meeting? Well, at least you've got this for the time being.
Okay. So could we do it for the meeting following? so that
That's
I can-
between you and the town staff.
Okay,
Yeah, the deadline is June something, what, 6th?
so
6th,
if I
yeah.
would have the appropriate renderings on June, submitted before June sixth.
We'll send you
That
all
would-
the information. That way you don't have to
Thank
remember
you,
all of
thank
this.
Yeah.
Jim and I will, make sure you have all the information you need so you can be set up to submit as soon as you have this.
Perfect. And so just for clarification, the back area, do I need to do anything further?
Nope.
I cannot paint it yet just because it's still so new.
Yeah, you have.
Understood.
Yeah, we understood. Yeah.
So there's nothing further I need to do back there.
So
Yep.
you'll work with the building department, the backup round, who you've been in touch with?
Yes.
So you'll work through that permitting process with them. From the board itself, you don't need to do anything further for that.
Okay, but I do have to.
You'll work with staff, just work with.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Do we have any new business? We have a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, do you?
No, you can keep those.
Thank you so much.
We got a unanimous adjournment.
Jim, if you wanna go in.